Good afternoon. My name is John Becker, and I'm reporting from the epicenter right now of the recovery effort in Putnam County. This is one of the places that was hit by at least one tornado spawned from a killer storm system that rolled across the state of Tennessee for almost 300 miles and may have spawned at least a half dozen tornadoes. Let me bring you up to speed some 36 hours into this recovery effort. We are on Savannah Trace Lane. You are seeing some of the recovery effort underway in this video. We'll bring it back to this neighborhood in a minute, but this is a state of emergency declared by the governor of the state of Tennessee. We've had an update on the victims. There are some 18 victims in this county. They range in age from 2 to 67. We learned that today. The fortunate thing is the number of missing is going down. It was as high as 80 plus, and it's now down below 20. That is one of the efforts underway today, is to recount and make sure that they can connect with people who are still missing. Let's listen to some of the victims we spoke to earlier today.
It's unbelievable. I never dreamed it would ever happen to me. Never.
It's pretty devastating. And that's 41 years of work.
Again, back live in Putnam County. I'm going to talk to my producer, Leanne, for just a moment. Leanne, if you can come back to us live, I want to show exactly what we're seeing in this neighborhood. Again, this is the path of the destruction of that tornado. You can see some homes reduced to nothing but their foundations, others losing part of their roof. But look at the home that is right next to us. This is the Myers home. This is still standing, and the only problem with their home is a few windows missing. Volunteers came by to help board those up. But as photographer Brian Holt swings back around, look what is right across their driveway. This home belongs to the Beans. They built it from the ground up, and they told me the only reason they survived is because they made it into the basement. How long did this storm last? They said it lasted no more than 30 seconds. So the damage you're seeing from their home and beyond lasted some 30 seconds. I heard that from a number of victims that we talked to today. Also, this is the scene really across this county. Do you see the sheet metal that is still wrapped around that light pole? That is what we're seeing in neighborhood after neighborhood as you drive around Cookeville. We're going to bring in my colleague, Shannon Smith, who has been talking with people about this storm who lived through it. And your focus today, again, was on the victim, Shannon.
Yes, I actually met with a family friend of 3 of the victims, Terry Curtis, his young son, Dawson Curtis, and their nanny, Amanda Cole. They all did not make it out of that tornado. They were asleep in the house when their wife and their other son were able to survive it. They said the last they saw them was going towards the front of the house, Terry going to get his son, and Amanda where they were sleeping. Their bodies were later found. Now his wife, their son, in the hospital still. But we talked to family friends who said, see, these are the best people, and we want to let you hear how she describes Terry, Dawson, and Amanda.
It's day 2 of tornado cleanup and damage assessment in Nashville. I'm in East Nashville, and one of those buildings that still needs to be assessed and really know the true damage of it is this YMCA building in East Nashville. You can see no one is allowed in right now, so who knows what's all in there, but you can see some shattered windows and even exposed roof.
Toss again when they come in.
All right, and we want to let you hear from the people that we were talking to here in Cookeville, really describing some of those victims who passed away yesterday.
I'm sorry. Dawson was, he was mean as a snake, but he was so sweet. Big old guy, and he looked so scary, and he had this rough, deep voice, but at the end of the day, he was the biggest teddy bear, and he was so loving. She had such a heart for the kids that she cared for. So anybody that has ever had Amanda, I feel like, in their life, they know exactly what I'm talking about whenever I say that.
Jen Curtis and Easton Curtis still in the hospital. Jen responding physically, not quite verbally, so she's gonna have a long way to go. And coming up at 5, John, we're gonna talk more about what exactly the East and the 9-year-old saw when that tornado hit yesterday.
It has been such a horrific few hours for so many people in this community. Shannon, thank you very much. Again, just to reset our coverage, there are some 30,000 people that live in the town of Cookeville. I spoke with the Putnam County property assessor who was out surveying some of the damage today. He says hundreds of homes are damaged or destroyed. He expects that number may rise up to 1,000 in this community. It is home to Tennessee Tech. We saw them out today helping out, students helping out here. Some 10,000 attend that college. This is part of the recovery. It's neighbors helping neighbors. I spoke to one young woman who was up just trying to get a sense of what her neighbors needed, passing out water. That's the kind of efforts we're seeing. Again, about 36 hours or more into the recovery efforts in this storm. Our focus is on the victims. We're going to see a lot more of that in our coverage coming up. And we're going to also talk more about the recovery effort and also the visit by the president, who is set to come here Friday. That is the latest from Putnam County and just outside of Cookeville. I'm John Becker reporting. Let's send it to Live at 5 at 4.